Hello and
Hello, hello.
welcome. Hello, hopefully you can all hear us tonight.
Oh,
We're still got your protein powder from the gym earlier. Welcome back to this week's Weekly Woof. I am Thumper. My pronouns are they, them.
And I'm Zael, and my pronouns are he, him.
We're getting quite trained at
Yeah,
this.
I know, right?
So this week we've got a very great show tonight. What's our topic tonight?
So our topic tonight is the leather community, but also a drag and image in general.
So who have we got to do this? What amazing person could have we pulled out of our contact list to come?
So we have the wonderful head of F.O.D, Mr. Jamie Wake, who's also the drag celebrity Sue Panover. He's Mr. Leather UK 2017.
I've got to apologise. I broke my glasses earlier, so I'm having to do this weird hello to see the messages. Just before we transfer over to Jamie, evening Ben, evening Jan, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to this week's Weekly Woof. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our lovely friend and our the amazing Mr. Leather 2017 and Sue Panover and Club F.O.D president, I believe.
Yeah, president, head,
I don't know. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. I wonder how many titles you missed out there. I have so many, apparently.
I'm just waiting for the when you start getting knighthoods and MBEs, it's going to become appalling, isn't it? It's going to be like Sir Jamie Wake.
Hey, Sir.
Look, an MBE would be great. I'm more likely to get an STD, but after lockdown, I think.
After lockdown, when we're all a bit more free. So would you like to introduce yourself? So we've already said what your positions are, but would you like to talk a bit more about yourself, who you are, just a bit of more of a backstory so people know you?
I should just publish a book. It might be easier.
Yes.
So most people know of me or know me. I'm Jamie. I'm old news. I'm an ancient old queen. So I was Mr. Leather UK in 2017, which went down really well like a lead balloon. Hello, Sarah. I've just seen Sarah Wilmot come up. Hello, Sarah. I quite like this. I'm on the sofa with Fern and Phil, and on the side I see the chat. It's amazing being on this side. I know you guys use pronouns. I personally don't use pronouns, by the way, because I see everyone as people. So I never say I'm he or they. I'm Jamie, and that's just my personal view. I'm not saying it's wrong to do anything else. And yes, and I was, as you quite rightly said, or I am a drag artist as well, but just not with this.
Not today. You haven't chosen to show off today, have you?
No, I'm keeping this for Christmas, just in case someone wants to sit on my knee. So you have to be prepared.
Oh, Santa.
Ooh. I'm sure you have a lot of applicants.
You can have 3 households at Christmas, so I'm looking forward to it.
Hopefully, but hopefully nothing changes. So,
yeah, fingers crossed.
So Jamie, you've talked about you being a drag queen, but also you were Mr. Leather 2017, and obviously we talk a lot about kink and fetish. So you want to start off talking about how you got into leather and the kink and fetish scene? Start off with.
Leather's a weird thing for me because even though now quite clearly I love leather, and for me it is a sexual thing. To be honest, if you're fair, in only 1 year it wasn't a sexual thing, and that was 2017, because when you're going to so many events and activities, you take putting it on, putting it off, putting it on, putting it off, and it lost the excitement. My earliest memory of liking leather is when I was a child. My mum was a single parent. We were at my grandparents, and she had a friend who was a biker, and I remember, for some reason, I was like 6 or 7 or something stupid, wanted to put his jacket on. And I think it's because probably grew up on a program that you two are too young to remember, called Happy Days. We had the Fonz in. We all thought that was really cool. And I think it just started from there. And it's only really in the last 5 years, maybe, that I've taken it to embrace it a lot more than I have done in my past.
That's great. So obviously you've talked about getting involved in leather fetish. So how did you get into drag as well? 'Cause I guess there was a bit of a different route with that.
There is. I think the world. Actually, no, I won't say the world. The UK. I think the UK is the only leather community that has a hang up on drag. And I think that's probably down to the fact that a lot of our leather events, for example, are male only. We don't have a Mrs. Leather UK. We don't even encourage the trans community to come to our events, which I think is really poor showing. But I know with the younger crowds coming up through the ranks, I don't go follow the old guard, new guard stuff. But I think that's gonna completely change. I was a drag queen, or as I used to say in the press when I was started, I was a gender illusionist. Since I was 18, since drama school. I worked out when I couldn't get acting work at drama school. I did a dragagram and made a lot of money, and I thought I got good legs, so I'm going to keep doing this. But one's a kink, one is very much for earning money.
Yeah,
actually, either could, to be fair, but
that's what I mean. Yeah, I guess for some drag can be a bit of both. For some it's one, for some it's the other. So, but it's nice to know what it is for you and share your personal experience. So,
we wanted to ask you what was your kind of best experience when it came to kink and fetish, obviously, and being a drag queen. What would be the one experience, I guess, in each of those situations that would like have made you very thankful to have discovered those communities and gotten involved in it? Because that's
it's an odd one because for many years in Reading, obviously we're all based in Reading. I was known as Sue Panover, and I worked so hard to shake that image off because people didn't see me; they saw the drag persona. And I've always been a slightly theatrical. I think I'm very camp, and when I was starting to, certainly when I really hit the leather community, I did everything to hide the fact that I did drag, and I actually gave up the cabaret for many years. And there's only last year before that I returned, brought Sue Panover back for Club F.O.D. But I think people have this image that they can't be together. You can't be both. But it's like saying, well, you're wearing leather, so you can't be an accountant, or you're wearing leather, so you can't be a prostitute. Well, actually, no, not prostitute. Let's not use that example. That's a really bad one. But I think in the UK, I've certainly seen discrimination. Certainly, when I started doing drag, or when I was doing drag in Reading, especially, there was a lot of discrimination against people who did cabaret or who did drag. You got to remember, this is pre-RuPaul days, so you had a very small handful of drag artists in the UK. Now, because of Ru, everyone's a drag queen. It's so annoying. Where's the money? I need the money.
yeah. So you talked a bit about how you got and the images and the difference. Is there any point where you sort of got fed up and sort of went, I'm going to pack this all in? And how did you overcome that? How did you sort of bring yourself up from?
I literally gave up drag. I think it was 2014. And it was quite nice. My late husband Salwyn was very involved in Pride. To me and to many others, he's still Mr. Pride in Reading. And they brought me up to say thank you. I decided that actually I wanted to try different aspects of my life and explore different things. Because when you get tarred with the brush, it sticks. And the only reason I came back was for I think it was a fundraiser at the Blagrave Arms. So what are we now, 2020? So between 2018, a week before Reading Pride. And I thought, you know what, I can do this as a drag ball. Excuse me, I'm trying not to burp so publicly. And I did it, and I got really upset because nobody recognised me. because I usually have a beard, as everyone knows, and if I do drag, obviously I shave it off. But the moment I'm out of a frock, it grows back again. That's what I do. And I realised that I'd given up a lot of stuff prior to Sal's death, and then didn't do it. Well, I gave up a lot of stuff after his death. So returning just gave me a little bit more of a confidence boost. Certainly for doing what we do at Club F.O.D anyway.
I do have to say that first time I saw you in drag, I did not recognize you at all. Oh, that's because I've seen you for the first time. I was like, who is that? And for the entire evening, I was trying to figure out who is in drag, and then someone said, "Oh, it's Jamie." I said, no,
I don't think you even recognised it then. I think you went home. You still didn't believe it then because you went. I think you came back here, or we had a chat a few days later, and you're like, "So, Sue Panover, is that Jamie?" And I'm like, "Yes." No, it isn't. It can't be. Jamie's got a beard. And I was like, no, they're definitely the same person. I've had a conversation with Jamie about this. But it is quite shocking that there's two different images of you, isn't there? There's sort of this butch sort of leather man sort of image, butch, butch, and that sort of more feminine drag queen sort of look. And they are totally different images, some would say.
I think it's about perception because I don't consider myself masculine. I look at people like, I don't know, John Stockton, the character who has a bit of a flair and a fun side, but I would consider him masculine. I look at other people, but that's my perception, I guess. So, but then you've seen me in drag. I don't think I'm feminine. I'm certainly not feminine. I'm not trying to be a woman. Although, you know, I will have the big breasts, I will have the high heels, and I contour to buggery. You know, it's that's just, I guess, the outside image. But I still see it as me. But other people will disagree with you.
I think it's some sort of systematic, isn't it? We're brought up to see two different genders, aren't we? We've either seen this is male or this is female, and it's that conception that we're all basing looks on and images on. Is this, I guess, what we're brought up with, this systematic idea of this has to be male or this has to be female.
I think with that though, and what I find very enlightening, I suppose, as I've grown older and not so much wiser, is that we talk a lot about gender fluidity, gender being gender fluid now. And I think we're still, even in that aspect, hanging on to this predefined notion of what gender is. And we're not looking at the people. What makes them a good person? What makes them a kind person? The bits that really, whether it's sexually attracted to or just in friendships, we get attracted to. To me, looking at you two, I mean, yes, you do remind me of the couple that are hosting this morning at the moment, sit on the sofa. But I would just see you as Thumper and Zael. I wouldn't see you as anything else. And I think although we're breaking boundaries and we're getting rid of molds, I personally, this is my personal, not a Club F.O.D thing, or I'm not speaking on behalf of leather or drag community. I think we get lost in that we need to look at the person a lot more than whatever gender, sexuality, etc. they are.
And I think that you know, I watched a couple of not documentaries, but I guess interviews with different drag queens, and it's very interesting because everyone, I think, outside of the drag community, a lot of times assumes that drag queens want to look like biological women, and that's usually not the case. Like, that's why you put on so much flair and makeup and, you know, all those glittery costumes, because you know, day to day, I don't think that a lot of women wear that sort of stuff. And you know, a lot of drag queens dress like this for show because they're performers, because they're actors. And for a lot of them, it is their job, and it's, you know, that's just how they present for like, for the audience. And it shouldn't be just like, oh, I want to look like a woman. I want to present myself as, you know, Supernova or whatever drag queen I am, or drag king. it's both ways.
Yeah. I think with drag, I mean, my style of drag, I mean, you don't get people wearing sequin ball gowns all the time. I love that old school glamour, big hair, I think big heart. My first, I remember doing drag for the first time back in Margate. And the late Phil Starr, who was a very well-known drag artist at the time, actually more than well-known, infamous. I won a fancy dress competition basically in drag because I was old school Hollywood glamour. And that's the style I go for. Although you'll see me in some things like a right slapper, but I come from Kent, so you sort of emulate where you come from.
Thanks a lot, Jamie.
Yeah.
Just minus the crabs. I've managed to shave them out these days. But it's, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Sue Panover is a character. But I think, like, if you speak to any actor, typically I trained as an actor, the crossover between you and that character, you have to have something real in it. And now the only difference between Jamie or James, as I'm known in the leather community, James and Sue, is James can get ready in 20 minutes. Sue Panover can get ready in 5 hours. That's a huge difference. That's not even the shaving aspect included.
I feel like it takes me 5 hours to get into leather. I don't know.
There are tricks.
With the sizes that you have, I remember I had to pull up your pants several times because you just wouldn't be able to.
It's a two-person job to get me in this.
Definitely.
Some of the stuff I am in.
It's a 3-person job sometimes.
Oh God, it depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm in a bitchy mood.
For me.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, I am in charge here. You clothe me.
Well, most of the time when you're in that mood, I'm like,
are you
fuck
sure
off,
you're not a
partner.
married couple? Because
Oh no, I let his peasant partner do that. It's fine. I'm not in charge of dressing him.
Yeah. Evening. Someone saying hello.
Hello,
Martin, hello. So
the trustees from F.O.D.
yes, hello. Hope you're enjoying the lovely show, if we can call it a show.
It is a show.
It is a show.
Yeah.
So I think this is probably a good time to transfer onto the game of the night.
Ooh,
So
it's very exciting.
it is very exciting. So we always have a game in the middle. So if I do my nice little transfer that I paid a lot of money for,
Do we?
got it for free.
Oh. I was about to
Oh,
say-
I'm still here.
Oh, no, wrong one. That one.
I was about to say you queued the wrong one.
I queued the wrong one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Live for me.
Should I introduce the game?
You can
then?
introduce the game, yeah.
Thank you. My game. Well, you created it this
Get the
week.
binoculars out.
So this week our game is called Hit or Spit because UK Drag Race UK Series 2 has been announced. There have if you've watched Drag Race, a lot of the queens do a game called, what was it?
Toot or boot.
Toot or Boot, which
Right.
basically they look at photos of the drag queens on the season that is going to be upcoming, and they say whether they like it or not. So Toot is like, is dislike. So we did a little bit of a kinky twist on it. Hit is like, if you want to hit it, it's gonna be
Give it
good.
a nice hit.
Yeah, smack it on the butt, whatever you need. Or you're gonna spit on it, which means, a little bit more negative.
What is that still a positive for
us
me?
older queens will talk about spit roast and things,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
could be interpreted incorrectly.
But
in
yeah,
this game.
I think they're both positives, but one's more positive than the other, depending on what your likes
yeah.
are. Anyway,
Absolutely.
hi Tom. Thank you for joining in today. So we're going to
Hey,
start off.
Well,
We're going to start off with the first one. So this is one of the new season 2 drag queens that have been announced. I don't know how to say the name because I don't want to butcher it. I'm like
Tasty.
Tasty.
I think it's tasty.
Tasty.
You never know with these.
No, you never know with names, do you? So would you hit or spit?
This outfit, not her.
Both.
explain to me. Hit is a good thing. I haven't
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
hit.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
no. It's not like naughty spank.
Okay.
It's like, oh, nice spank.
I mean, where the screen is, it looks a bit like I'm a borrower, so it looks very, very small to me. But I'm going to say hit.
You're going to say hit.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. We've got the next one. John Stockton. Would you hit
No.
or spit?
Now, when he was on your show and he couldn't work out what year of the quiz, I should really be spitting at it, but I believe that could be a fetish of his, so I'd rather not. So I'll have to say hit.
But I feel like hitting might also be a fetish of his, so there's no winning in this game.
I'll be the daddy.
I've got to admit, that photo, I saw that photo. It's one of the first photos I came across on his Facebook, and I went, sorry, John, I'm not really normally interested in you. No offense. But then I was like, but this photo does stuff for me. It's a lovely photo.
I mean, I'm stealing his dog. That's what I'm doing.
That is a gorgeous photo, and I should be the dog.
And the world's worse because I'll sit there looking at the background. I'll be like, "Oh, there's a nice clock." Or,
Yeah. I'll think
the
glow
globe.
looks nice.
You haven't dusted the back of that sofa, and I'm a right skank, so I shouldn't be like that at all. But yeah, no, it's a hit for me.
Never hit. This is another season 2 drag queen, Ellie Diamond. I don't know what the hell is on the head, but it's very pink, pretty in pink, as we always say.
Absolutely. Very frilly.
I have to be nice because, as you probably know, I pulled out of the audition process of season 2.
Did you? What?
Yes.
This is new news. Come on, gossip.
Well, we can do the story after the game, but I'm very jealous of all the queens that I saw today because I'm like, oh, it could have been me, but I had to put my heart where on the sleeve and actually, rather than finish off the audition process, concentrate on Club F.O.D's World AIDS Day weekend last year, and that is why I didn't go past that. But I'm going to give her. I like pinks a hit. What's Martin saying up there? I hope that photo was wiped clean, Josh. The first one you came across.
It was. The laptop was wiped clean and disinfected after. Let's just say this.
Autoclave.
Is it COVID secure, Josh? That's what we need to know.
Yeah.
It's now COVID secure. So we're going to go for the next one.
Ginny Lemon.
Ginny Lemon. Now, I have one problem with this.
The Crocs.
The Crocs. Like, it's a lovely look. I've got to say the face is a bit whitened out, but I think it's to go with the clown sort of aesthetic. But
definitely,
Crocs is a no-go. If you're wearing Crocs,
yeah.
No,
well, no, maybe Jamie isn't liking. It likes Crocs. You can't judge.
Oh, please don't say you're wearing them now.
Like,
hang on, I'm pouring my third glass. Give me a second.
Are you sure you're doing that?
I'm like Barbara Windsor at the pub now. God bless her soul.
To be honest,
I'm gonna be nice here because I don't think you can judge someone on how they look when they're in drag because everyone is individual, and I think they should celebrate their individuality.
Yeah,
absolutely. I know Martin's saying she looks like Big Bird, and there could be that. Oh, Brendan's there saying Trump. Yeah, I have, Brendan. I muted my mic to do it. I'm going to give her a hitch.
Yeah.
For the Crocs, just to annoy
all I'm gonna say is that Michelle Visage wouldn't be very happy about that.
No, but at least it's not a corset.
Who is she? Who is Michelle Visage?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to admit, Jamie, though, when you went to pour that glass, all I saw was pour to the side and then a yellow liquid come up from within the glass. And I was a bit worried.
You're watching too much Charmed.
That's what it is. So we've got another one. Hit or spit. This is an anonymous person.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't know.
We don't know who this is.
We don't know them.
Is it a hit or a spit?
I'm just making sure it's not an X. But it's very small on the screen I'm seeing. So I can smell the leather from here. If they're dog ugly, I'll blame you. Send me the picture later. But I'll say, I'm going to do something that's not in your rules. I'm going to split.
Oh, split.
Split?
There we go.
What do you mean? You're going to do both?
No, it's like meh. It's 50-50.
Meh? That's me. That's me.
Well, I can't see it.
Oh.
No, actually, no. I'm going to go for spit because I don't like grey ties. There we go.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I see how it is. That's me. That's
Was
me.
it?
It's me. That's me. You can stand up and go and have a look if you want, but that's me.
Can I have a taxi, please? Uber?
I look like a daddy for once.
Yeah.
This one, hit or spit.
I got to be nice. He is my title daddy, Miss Levy UK 2016, and I do know Joe. Joe's a good friend. So I'm going to have to say here, I do not find Joe sexually attractive. I must admit. I think that's because I know him.
Yeah, maybe too well.
I've been to Warsaw with Joe. Can I just point out to Zael there?
Polish.
We were judges at Mr. Leather Poland in my year. So I have had a laugh with him. He's a genuine guy. So yes, hello Joe.
Hello.
Aw.
Yeah, I don't think we watch him, but Joe, you
Right.
got a hit
Maybe
from
after
all of
this.
us.
Maybe after this.
Maybe after this he'll join. That's a hit from all of us, Joe.
Oh,
I don't
definitely.
think so.
So we're going to show you the drag queens
in
of
the
Reading. So the first one is
No, this will be cruel. That's something wrong. I can tell that from here.
yes. Would you hit or spit?
I don't know something wrong. Funny story with something wrong is if I'm in drag, won't speak to me. If I'm in leather or just Jamie or James, will say hello and acknowledge me, but then will know that I do drag. It's very bizarre. But I'm gonna what's the word they use in government? I'm gonna abstain because she never speaks to me in drag. That's why.
I have a story. First time I met something wrong, I didn't actually. Oh god, my glasses are going everywhere. I didn't actually meet her. So I was going by the train station, Reading train station, going towards the Blagrave.
Erling is my friend. Yep.
And guess who I saw out of drag on a phone call with two massive suitcases? Something wrong. Everyone was going. Like, there's a few people getting a photo, and I thought I'm not going to be that B word, and I'm going to walk by, acknowledge it's something wrong, and walk by, and I did. I did say hello. I feel like
Bo is a very sweet guy who is something wrong, and I love the fact that Bo created something at the Oakford down here in Reading.
Yeah, that was lovely. I was told.
You know, and it was nice bringing other acts in as well. I mean, to be fair, he did amazingly getting on to Drag Race season 1. I did apply for season 1 as well, can I just point out, but I was so drunk when I did it, I copied and pasted nothing onto the application form and didn't even realise.
Classic.
I love my alcohol, you might realise.
Oh, so if F.O.D TV and radio is going to be set up, maybe we'll see you in series 3 then.
Sue Panover has been on Saturday before. She's hosted Saturday before. But you got to remember, it's either 5 hours getting ready or 5 hours drinking wine. There's a choice.
That's true.
Drinking wine.
2020 changes perspectives.
I just have to say that Something Wrong has a beautiful voice. I saw her perform at Oakford before, and she's a great singer. A little bit crappy that she,
she can work a crowd. She definitely can.
Yeah, she got disqualified before she went home before the singing challenge, which was a little bit disappointing for her. But yeah,
it would have been nice. So we're going to show you the other drag queen of Reading.
I can't see who that is.
You not see who that is?
No.
It's Wilma.
It's like Dick Whittington from here. Oh, Wilma.
It's Wilma.
Do you know what? I've only got to know Wilma in 2020.
Really?
Even though when I used to live in London before I moved to Reading back in, before Jesus Christ was born, Wilma moved to London after I left London and was doing the same gigs that I used to do.
Oh, okay.
And then I came to Reading, and when I gave up drag, she suddenly appeared doing drag. Very weird. So because the world is so small. I'm going to give a hit to Wilma because she's done a lot for charity. And I remember, I remember her hitting on my other half once in a pub in Reading, when she was very drunk. So I probably shouldn't hit her, but she won't remember. To be fair, she was that drunk. So definitely a hit.
Does Wilma remember anything?
That's true.
I've got to say that is a awful photo of Wilma.
Yeah. It's sad that you can't see it properly because it's absolutely unique.
Usually they use one that I took when I was a photographer of Reading Pride in the early days. She was using it for her publicity for ages. I was like, that's my photo. You've cut out my logo. But
ooh.
Is that the one where she has her knickers down?
No, she's on stage looking pensive. The only time you'd ever see that. But she's done remarkably well for Reading Pride as a charity. People, forget when I was doing drag. When I started Reading Pride off with all the others, the founders, that I was doing the same thing, and she's done it for a lot longer than I did. So well done to her. And she's raising money once a month doing bingo when we can socialise,
Yeah.
in the library.
We very much go to it, and once or twice she has read me, and once or twice I have got the balls and done the same back, and I have, and the shade. There's a lot of shade between us when
really
we
good.
start.
It's healthy.
I think Reading
healthy.
tried missed a trick last year, because when we did the cabaret stage, and last year was the first time Sue Panover went back to Reading Pride, and I did a cabaret song, which I was shaking for because I hadn't done that since Samhain died. And we, somebody one was hosting, and Wilma had been on the stage. I was the only one that hadn't been on the main stage performing. I was speaking last year, but we had the three what I call circuit drag queens, because even though I don't perform very often, I feel like sometimes as a circuit drag queen on the same stage at one time or over the day. That was, I think that's a big thing. It's lovely. I'd love us all three of us to do something together at some point.
Yeah, so we've shown you the two.
I got the talent. I got nothing. It was like...
I was about to say we've showed you the two two drag queens of Reading. There isn't any others that we know of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually,
is there?
you've missed out quite a few.
I know I have, and I know you'll correct me on this, and I'm glad you are going to, because it gives them good publicity. So you go ahead, Jamie.
Okay.
You're not going to go. Go on.
I'm just trying to read the words. Speed round.
I was gonna-
Do I have to take amphetamines now?
No, I was going to say.
I wasn't prepared.
Yeah, where's the party?
I was saying you could talk about the drag queens I've missed
I've
off,
got an
unfortunately.
antihistamine. Is that the same thing?
No, I think you might go to sleep, Jamie. So what the other?
I've got an Anadol, but it's sat on the couch. But
So what,
I haven't heard that before.
So what are the other drag queens that are in Reading? That, because I only, well, to be honest, yeah, they're the only sort of ones I know. So what other ones are there?
you have Grace Anatomy, who was she was a member of the Pod Squad for a little while. You've got Viola Tux, who is oh no, Viola Tux is a member of the Pod Squad. Now I have to say that we are unique in F.O.D that we have drag queens that are not necessarily gay men as well. So Grace Anatomy is actually a lesbian doing drag. Viola Tux is a straight man doing drag. We also have Stephen, who is Missectomy, a gay man doing drag. And there are other people that do drag occasionally, but I wouldn't call them drag queens. They're not what a character or so. You may have more that I have completely forgotten about, but there we go. It depends what the speed round is going to be.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, if you later on in your drag queen in Reading and we've missed you off, do let us know. And I guess F.O.D nights in the future when COVID has gone down, you have drag queens on the door, and I guess you always want more applicants and more people subscribing to that as well, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why we have door whores, and that's, you know, at the end of the day, that's what they are.
Door whores.
I hate the phrase. We call them door hoes, because I am a CEO of a charity. The reason we have it because it's our shop window, it's our shop front. When you see a drag queen on the door, you sort of know where you're walking into. B, they got the gift, the gab, because if you get any, I'm trying to think of a word that I can say on a live broadcast.
Unruly.
If they're a little aggressive in a nice way, you know, drag queen is usually quite fast at hitting back. And actually, for anyone that's in the closet, it's almost like a secret sign to say, you know, you can come in here, it's safe here. But you know what's happened now since Drag Race, you can walk around Yates's or Weatherspoons in drag, no one bats an eyelid. It's really annoying. You put a leather chaps on or something, it's a completely different world. But
yeah. I know, turn about it. I went on the tube in my leather once, and oh god, the amount of looks I got. That was on a different stream. We talked about that.
Yeah.
So what are you going to say?
I just wanted to say, with drag queens in Reading, I just wanted to give a shout out because I'm obviously 5 times a week living with Thumper, and his housemate is Bodacia, who's an up and coming drag queen who's doing really well. And sadly, because of COVID, she
all the gigs got cancelled.
all her gigs got cancelled, and she was about to go on Eurodrag, which is a you know, national competition. So fingers crossed, she's going to be on again. But I think
COVID dependent at the moment.
Yeah, but yeah, I wanted to give a shout out, have a look around because she's a very good performer. She just hasn't had a lot of opportunities to perform live yet because of the
I might drag her down to F.O.D one night for you,
yeah,
Jamie.
definitely.
No, please do, because I mean, I'm very passionate. I mean, about I noticed someone has shared that on Facebook from last year. I'm very passionate at giving new talent, whether it's new or old, an opportunity. But we are a charity; we can't pay you, unfortunately.
That's fine.
You know, but if you can entertain and you can help raise money for local good charities, causes, and projects, then we're going to love you.
So we're going to go on to our speed round. This is you've got to quickly go hit or spit. I think
Or
you've
split.
got hit,
you know.
spit or split. Let's go split.
I hope you've zoomed in so I can see it.
Well, you will know who they are. Don't worry about it. So hit or spit.
Oh, I know that wall. That's on Kenny. Oh, that's me. No, it's not. Is it Lauren?
No, it's you in a kilt.
Oh, okay. It's so small. I'm deaf and blind now. I'm Helen Keller and I'm mute. I'm gonna hit me.
We're gonna hit you. Next one.
Hit or split.
Oh shit, that's me. Oh no. Other swear words are available. Do you know what? I nearly wore that shirt tonight, which is really embarrassing. I'm glad I didn't. I'll hit me again. I mean, I'm insecure. I won't hit me like that. But that's an old photo. Split.
Split. And then all daddy.
Hit me again.
That one is lovely.
Yes.
I've got to say.
I call it self-love.
Yeah. The only issue that I have with the red one is the
hat.
Yeah, I don't know what you were wearing on your head. I'm not gonna lie. It
was
not my favorite thing.
What was?
You've gone through my Facebook, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Twitter.
Oh, no, do you know what? I love. You know, that was my first ever leather event.
Which one was it?
It was Leather West. It used to do the leather weekend, leather pro weekend. And I got a reputation. It's called doing a James. So I will change outfits throughout the day. I think I spent a lot of money on my gear. I'm going to change it every 5 minutes. And that was my Sunday. I think it was Remembrance Sunday or something like that. And everyone was like, "What the?" I can't swear, obviously, but
beep.
But when I haven't done it for a while because I've done drag the last few prides. So I used to bring a whole party of leathermen to Reading for Reading Pride. The first guy that's ever done that. I'm humbled to have done that. But I lose people. I'm going sweet because I look at Selwyn, how he used to do it. We'd buy them all pizza. They come here because they come back from Pride before going out in the evening. And I'd have 20 odd leathermen in my wardrobe, a walk-in wardrobe, because it's what his head to toe in gear. And they all, you could pair them up. If I was in drag, I'd be pairing that up with different things now. But I lose people in this house because I've got the leather wardrobe. And you should see the Cyberman and the Stormtrooper leather outfits.
I've seen the Stormtrooper one.
Yeah,
I was about to say, do you pull them out like 2 weeks later? You start finding just people in your closet, just going, "Oh, hello, how long have you been there?"
It's never been the first time I've found people in my closet.
Oh, hello. So that was the end of the game.
Yay!
Woo!
I mean, you're just very generous.
So we're gonna
put me on the league table for that. You know, I can't do the high tech stuff.
Oh, hello. So we are. Oh, look, we're now together again. Hello. Oh, can I reach out? I can reach out and grab you. Oh, yeah, there you go. I've grabbed you.
Oh, hang on. Oh, wrong side. Hang on. It's a thing. When you're doing this, obviously we do this with F.O.D. I'm here in the studio every Friday and Saturday. Me and Sophie are always trying to do. I'm on the wrong side again.
Yes.
Trying to do that.
Wait.
And it always happens. We've got the backgrounds now that looks like we're in the same room. But until we lean over, it's a bit like Good Morning Britain with Suzanne and Pierce. It just goes wrong every time.
There are other Good Morning shows available.
It's not the BBC one. It's very boring. But...
Oh no, I do like what's it? Philip Schofield.
I don't watch any.
I do love the
I'm
Philip Schofield.
foreign. It's not a culture for me.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Oh, it's in Poland. You've got loads of morning programs. I've been there.
Yeah,
So
Polish morning programs, not British morning programs.
Oh, I'm going to eat toast today. It's like that's a Bulgarian one. I was in hospital for a few months in Bulgaria, which is, I know it's not Poland, but it has similar to characteristics. Yeah. And I had to sit and put 50p in the TV every day. Oh, someone else did because my arms were up in a cast. And you'd have something like a bit of news, and then you'd have 23 grannies on a hill dancing around a handbag. It's just so, it's so non-Brexit.
See,
It's
quality
silly.
entertainment. Quality entertainment is
is.
all I'm going to say.
God, it's
Not
that
COVID.
I really don't know where to go on from this, to be honest. This conversation.
Shot. The old grannies have got me.
What, from 23 grannies on the hill dancing around the purse?
They
How-
weren't even designer handbags.
Oh, and
They could have been little shopping bags, which are all the rage in Poland, but in the Eastern Bloc. Other supermarkets are available.
I don't-
Aldi is your next door. But
God, we've got Tesco next door. We've got Tesco. I really don't know how to transition onto image on this question.
Either way, dragon leather.
I was going to talk about image.
Oh,
We talked
image.
about this.
I mean,
Anyway.
you can't get this image out of your head now.
No, I
that's
can't.
why I healed so quickly. I had to get out of the hospital. You know what? The hospital were very good because in Bulgaria, I probably the same in Poland. I was on morphine a hell of a lot when I had my accidents, and they built me a smoking area in the closet. The nurses all built me these things. I wouldn't eat the food. So I had to keep going up to the bloody, I think it was Mr. Happy Bar or something like that, to get me a burger and chips. But they literally took the stock out of a cupboard to give me a smoking lounge. It's amazing.
I do have to say that a lot of countries, especially in the Eastern Bloc, including Poland, will do a lot of things to accommodate British people. You definitely have a little bit of a different set of rules when you come as a tourist there.
They say the care is very clinical. And I remember having my operation with my, you can't see it, you all see the big scars around. That it wouldn't have the scar if I had an accident in the UK. But I remember the surgeon having a cigarette in the doorway when I went into the surgery, which didn't bode very well for me. But the aftercare was clinical. It was what you needed. No, nothing more than that. But the ward staff were the ones that made the difference. That they would. I remember one. They had. I was starving one night. They got me a kebab. I didn't eat kebabs, but I needed something one night. Out of everything, you got to remember the nurses and teachers and all those sort of positions we take for granted in the UK. Don't get that over there. So when you go to a gay bar, and there's not many in Poland or Bulgaria or any of that, these people have. You'll meet doctors, you'll meet nurses, but they're not the same as the doctors and teachers over here. I'm passionate about it. My parents still live in Bulgaria, so I'm very passionate about it.
Oh.
So, anyway, lovely story.
Yeah, we went on a tangent.
Off at an angle.
Off an
Sorry.
angle. Lovely angle. It's got chat. So, I'm terrible now. You're making me jealous. So, obviously, you've talked about some struggles being 11 man and being drag. I didn't know if you wanted. I know we've had very big discussions in the past about this. Is that talking about the struggles that you've had and some preconceptions that people had that you think aren't right, and how do you think we can change those preconceptions? I know it's a lot in the question,
I
but
mean, especially with you being Mr. Leather 2017, was the fact that you did drag something that, influenced your experience in the as a title holder.
yeah, and how people felt that it affected your image.
I remember when I won. I mean, I entered in memory of my husband, Selwyn. I entered the year the show won, and I came second in his memory. Only because of a joke he made literally a week before he passed away. I'd been to the Eagle to my first leather event, and I won Hunk of the Week. And I was so big-headed about it. I was like, oh my God, someone found me attractive to do that. And he said, what's next? You're going to be Mr. Bloody Leather UK next. And then obviously he passed a week later. And then I thought, you know what, I'll do that. I'll enter in his memory. And I came second. And then the year after, I decided to enter his memory. So I won. And at that time, I'd met a few people over the year, and some people knew my background. Some people had told me not to talk about my background. In fact, someone had actually made it perfectly clear that if I did, there was other stuff they'd release about me and all sorts. But the moment I won, I remember I had my friends, Brendan and Lawrence, crying because it's not the sort of thing that happens to one of their friends. It's not something that happens to me normally. I'm lucky if I win £1 in the Euro Millions. And then someone accepted me and said, you know, we've had Brexit, we've had Trump, now we've got Jamie. And
Lovely.
that was the attitude of older people. And I'm so assured of the future that we have people like yourselves and other people are available coming up.
No, they
through,
aren't, Jamie. No, they're not available.
So I should be on Good Morning Britain. So many younger people coming up through the ranks who don't see the bigotry that some people have, and some people do have bigotry. And there are some very old guard, and they're not saying they're bigoted, but they just have views. And you've got a lot of other people that see kink for what it is. It's a sexual pleasure a lot of the time for some people. So the fact that I do cabaret, or the fact that I work in health and social care, or the fact anything should be secondary to the fact that I'm there to represent the UK in gear. And I think I did very well. I was one of the first title holders to do a big thing about fundraising. I remember doing the Gay Sports Day at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern, first ever group to do that, raising over £1,000 for the Albert Kennedy Trust. And as we raised money for, things are going to escape my mind so quickly because I'm on the third glass of wine now. But I enjoyed raising money. That was the whole point of it. For me, is to raise the image of leather to youngsters out there who aren't going to go out and buy Langlets, who aren't going to buy they're going to buy second hand, who want to see someone they can look up to. They can see them. That's what I wanted to do when I won. I wanted to have someone that I could look up to. So when I first tried coming out in the leather scene, I was looked down on because I wasn't wearing Langlets. I wasn't wearing tall boots, fine boots. I wasn't wearing the stuff someone associated with leather. And in my head, it's like, but that's just you posing in a venue, in a pub. Leather's a lot more about that. I get annoyed sometimes when I hear about brotherhood, because sometimes there isn't brotherhood in the leather community. Not in the UK. It's very different out in, for example, Chicago. When I entered Mr. IML to represent the UK, there were lots of drag queens who were leathermen. And that shocks me completely. And I think that changed my direction when I came back, because I thought, you know what? If I'm going to be controversial, I'm glad it's me being controversial. If I'm going to be standing out for who I am, that means people out there that aren't being bullied or picked on, because actually when people are treating people differently, it's bullying a lot of the time. And I don't think we realise we do that, not necessarily in the leather scene, but in the gay scene, we do that an awful lot. I'm very passionate about this. This is why I'm slurring a little bit, not the wine. But you know, I'm very passionate that there should be a role model for each and every single one of us, not necessarily on television or radio and that sort of thing, but if we go out into the community, there should be someone that people look up to, and they're people that can say, do you know what, I can be who I am, exactly who I am. And you know what, the puppy movement is a very new thing. If you're a puppy, I apologise, because you probably don't think it's very new to you. But when I came into the leather scene, there wasn't much of a puppy movement. It probably was, and I didn't know about it. And that shows, without being rude, it's not why the puppy mask is. With the mask, it's not about the person on the outside, it's about the person on the inside that counts. And I think we've completely forgotten about that. I'm sorry to be deep.
No, absolutely fine. Like
no.
that's why
I'm
we
a
have this
top,
talk.
so I'm not that deep normally. But
Sure, you're deep.
I'm a top.
You're deep. You know, yeah. Either way, yeah, and I think you raised a very good point with a lot of. I think that's why pub play has been so much like popularized nowadays, is that one, it's very social and very approachable, I think, to a wider variety of people, and two,
Cheaper.
a lot cheaper. Well, the hoods still cost quite a bit, but you can get like cheaper hoods. and you put on a outfit, and it's kind of like, I always compare it to people going to Comic-Con or to one of the like cosplay conventions and stuff. You put on a character, or drag conventions. You put on a character, you become a completely different person, or in this case, pup, and you lose a lot of those limitations, and you don't even become more approachable. You, in many cases, approach people out of your own volition a lot more readily because you're not afraid of being judged based on how you look like, who you are. Yeah, so I think that's a big cross between pup play and drag, and as I said, and all the other.
Can we just
And
acknowledge that comment for a
Oh,
I
second?
think pop world, without being rude, isn't always sexual.
No.
no,
And
it's
I
not.
think
It's not being rude.
we've forgotten that it's also the same. And I know leather is a kink, it's a fetish. But for some people it's not. They just really enjoy wearing leather. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's like I make a joke, and I think I offended you, Thumper, once in a pub when early days when we first met. When I said I made up a fetish about oven gloves, and I made a fetish up about being a budgie. And I, that to me is my analogy. It doesn't matter what someone's into; they're still Peter, Paul, Mary, Joseph, or who. I didn't mean to name anyone in the Bible, but it's
Jesus.
it's about the person.
I know.
Yeah,
And sorry, one more
Tom
thing.
says it's cheesy to say that Thumper is his role model. Tom, don't worry, I can get you assistance at this point.
It's fine. We can find you someone else.
Is there Samaritans? But what's the phone number for
£12 an hour.
Samaritan?
Yeah. Either way, yeah, I think it's a great point to make, and I think that it's also nice to say that, as you said, there are a lot of new and younger people coming onto the scene, whether it is rubber or leather or pup scene, whatever you're into. And for me, for example, I am not very much like rubber and leather. I like wearing them; they're very fun. Not very sexual to me. I just like how I look in them.
Nice,
But
the
for me,
waistcoat there.
okay,
Whose waistcoat is that?
your waistcoat. It's
Thank
fine.
you very much.
Can I finish my?
No, because I just want to
Okay.
point out it's my waistcoat, but
either way.
and you look good in my
Okay,
waistcoat. But...
shush. Either way, I think that it's also very important to say that it is a community. So for a lot of people that are younger, for example, myself, it's a social situation. I remember I
You
went
said
to.
I'm old now.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
yes.
I went to Birmingham Fetishman. Sorry, the Birmingham Fetish weekend where Mr. Leather UK was.
Josh Stockton was
Yeah.
crowned as
Yeah.
our glorious leader.
And you had that after party, fun stuff in a very appropriate venue, but the main event was very social, and I got to meet a lot of new people, and I personally kind of went there for that aspect. I didn't go there, to.
I went. I think
Yeah.
I went to the after party,
Yeah.
and I've got to admit, even at the after party that was in a Bolts in
Establishment.
Birmingham, I got to admit, I didn't really play that much. Most of the time, I was out in the garden having a chat with John Stockton, some of the older leather guys, actually chatting about leather, what it means to them, and actually trying to, because I just started getting into leather at that, and having a chat to them and going, so what do you do? What do you do? Where do you get this from? And actually just having a social time in this venue, and actually all like coming along. John came and have a chat with me. Someone else had a chat with me, and we started having a discussion about this. It's actually beneficial. Something I was going to say before.
I didn't interrupt. I was making a point.
Okay,
I
I see. It's fine, darling. So
it's fine. I'm your leather top.
With the fourth leg hand touch. I said to the guys before we came on, I'm going to count how many times Thumper touches our leg.
To be fair, I might have touched their leg a lot more.
I'll check the statistics later.
I'll try to tell you what, when we finish this and it's end of the season, we're going to do a montage of all the leg touching. And I do some dubstep music.
You're both very tactile, which is lovely because certainly on the leather scene, you wouldn't really get that. A lot of the Backstreet or the Hoist isn't there now. Well, to be fair, they're all in tier 3, so none of them are there at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think it's you two that are going to change not the world, it's probably the wrong thing to say.
Yay!
The
Change the world.
We're not playing Miss Congeniality, but
I want world peace.
she just wants a sash. But I think attitudes are changing as new people come into a generational community. You know, and I'm very conscious that anyone should be exactly who they want to be. It doesn't matter gender or asexuality. Is be who you are, because how can you address the world if you can't be that individual? Learn, love, and embrace it. You know, it doesn't need a crisis or a change of attitude to make that happen. It just needs someone to believe in themselves and have someone to look up to do that.
It's just having icons, just being yourself in general day to day. It will affect one person. If it affects one person, it'll affect another person. If it affects that person, it'll affect another person. So literally, just being yourself will affect someone. If that affects them in a positive way, you have done something good in your life.
And someone already
But
considers you a
wear a
role model.
mask, wash your hands. It only affects someone in the wrong way.
To be honest, I showed you, we've had a message already on. I had a personal message on Twitter going. It was our first show where we talked about what kink and fetish meant to us. And someone messaged me and said that I've just watched your video. Thank you so much for talking about your experience, because it really helped me come to terms with how I'm feeling at the moment, and it's really pushed me to be myself and how I am at the moment. Thank you so much. And it's like, that was really nice to see. But then if you think about it, someone's seen that, now they're being themselves, then someone's probably going to meet them and talk to them, and then they're going to be themselves, and it's just this ever-growing thing. And I had a discussion with someone. I said, I'm like, oh, so why do you do all this charity work? No one's watching it, or no one's doing anything about it. No one's caring. And I'm like, well, if one person cares, that means that someone else will care about what they say, and it's a pain. And if I could just affect one person, then I'm happy. I'm happy. That's it.
I call it the ripple effect. So if you imagine a pond and you throw a pebble into the pond rather, you get one ripple, a second ripple, the third ripple. And that's when we want to make a difference. And you ever see me speak at Pride or anything, I usually say the same rubbish again. But it's a philosophy. It's the Church of Jamie. I've decided that anyone can make a difference. It's not as much the difference you've made, but you've shined a light to show the difference to someone else, who can then take it to someone else and someone else. I'm very spiritual deep down, surprisingly. So, I've just seen some questions and answers come up on the screen.
Have you not? Did you? Did you actually?
I didn't get time to photograph it.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Not now.
Oh, so you just. So don't look at the questions. Don't look at the answers. We're going to do our quiz now, and don't look at that screen. Please don't cheat. I know what you're like. Let's not cheat at this.
Wow.
Winning is not cheating.
There's some filthy accusations, right?
So we're going to go on to the game, and Jamie's not going to look.
Keep it up there so I can read it.
No, you're not going to look at this, Jamie.
No, do it like scrolling up. So like move it down. Yeah. More.
So you can't see that. I'll be surprised if you can see that, Jamie.
Even more. Move it down. Move it down.
Why?
Because he can see everything.
No, but you can see it anyway because you shared the screen.
What am I supposed to be looking at?
Don't look at the quiz questions. Don't look at it.
Just move it down so you can see the question.
What?
You can move it so you
No,
have one
it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Next time I'm going to set up because I know how to set up.
Well, someone took a nap 1 hour before we were supposed to be starting.
Bring third Britain back. That's what I say. There's a competition.
So anyway, we're gonna start ending our conversation there, and we're gonna go on to our quiz. So Jamie's not gonna have a look at the questions or answers that we've got on that screen. You're not gonna look on what's this. You're not gonna look at here, okay? You're gonna look somewhere else.
If you're gonna put it in a bigger font, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, you're not looking at it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask you as many questions. We're gonna ask you as many questions as possible in 2 minutes, and you've got to tell us the answers to those questions. I'm gonna somehow find out how to get a timer onto this slide.
Okay.
This might be transition. Okay. So are you
I
ready?
aim to lose. Is my way, but
Yeah. So what? The highest at the moment, 6.
6, yes.
6. Are you ready with the counter?
Yes, I am.
He's not ready with the
I'm
counter.
not gonna get
Well,
that.
oh my god, I have fingers.
Okay. What was it, 7?
Oh, no, I just clicked it wrong.
So, okay. Are we ready, Jamie, for your time to do the quiz?
Yeah.
That's not sound enthusiastic. So, on our marks, get set, go. So, in which year was the first ever Pride in London?
1972.
Yes. 1972, yeah. Which famous homosexual playwright was incarcerated in Reading and wrote The Importance of Being Earnest?
A handbag. It would be Oscar Wilde.
Yeah. What is the largest fetish / body art club and also has a fetish label?
In the UK.
The gardens. The
UK.
gardens. The torture gardens.
Yeah, that's correct. Which LGBTQ plus pub was bombed in the 90s by a far right extremist?
It's the day I moved to London. It'll be the Admiral Junction.
Yep. What day is annually held on the 10th of December?
Sorry, say that again.
What day is annually held on the 10th of December?
Don't know.
Human Rights Day. What colour would you use to flag S&M?
Leather. Black.
Yes, black. The labyrinth is used to symbolise what?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
The labyrinth, so the double-headed axe, is used to symbolise what?
I have no idea what that is. Sorry.
Lesbian feminism / power. What flag has the triskelion symbol on it?
Don't know.
The BDSM flag. When did UK legalise same-sex marriage?
2000 and you want civil partnership? So you want marriage? 2014.
Yep, correct. In Sean Campbell back in 1999 designed the feather pride flag. It is a symbol for what?
Well, it would be drag if it was a feather, wouldn't it?
Yep. Who did RuPaul crown in the first ever virtual drag race winner on Friday, May 29th of May?
Oh, that was the one that had to do online. Jada something or other.
I
can't remember the surname.
Oh, there is no surname, so I don't think so. It's
so that is the end.
You got 7.
And you got 7,
You
Jamie.
won. You're on the top.
You're on the top.
Leaderboard.
You're on top
Who
for
was
once.
the drag queen? Because I'll kick myself.
Jada Essence Hall.
Jada Essence Hall.
Oh, okay. Right.
You got 7 though.
She shouldn't have won that year, but
No. I think Gigi. Personally,
yeah,
Gigi.
wait, who did you think
I don't
would
watch
win?
it.
I didn't watch it, but I didn't think she would win.
But Jamie, you said you wouldn't be good at this.
Yeah, what is this?
Well, I haven't seen any. Well, the flags I'm dreadful at. I don't forget I've watched because I get the messages saying this isn't working. What are we doing? So I have to watch normally. I want to get drunk. So well, my 4th, 5th on the lead.
You're first. You're in the lead.
5th.
What? No, you're in the lead, Jamie.
Say that again.
You're in the lead. You've won. You're at the top.
Oh, give me a prize. Give me a prize.
No, we haven't finished yet.
Top.
We're on a mid-season break, but you could be classed at the top for the moment.
To be fair, they were easy questions for some of my age.
I'm
watched some of the stuff.
I'm just gonna say, I had freaking. What was the first Pride that would include a trans flag in them, and what year it was?
Arizona, 1999.
Which writer was incarcerated in Reading? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, you never know. Jamie might not know who was incarcerated
Jamie
in
has
Reading.
been living in Reading. Oscar Wilde is literally the person that you would know from the freaking prison down the road.
I've organised a hate crime vigil Oscar Wilde walk every year for the last 5 years.
I didn't know that.
This whole setup has been against me because Thumper put all the hardest question for me first because he was like, "Oh, we're going to have all the hardest question," and now they realize that there aren't that many questions that they can do every week, so they've gotten lazy with the questions. So now everyone is getting ridiculous amount of points, and I'm sitting there being like, "Wow, okay, thanks."
Don't worry, you and John got the same.
It's a hard life.
It's a hard enough life. Oh, we can't sing, can we? Because we'll get copyrighted. We've got that.
I don't think Facebook would recognise that, Thumper. It's absolutely fine.
It's fine. You're so off key. I don't think
It was a car door opening.
Thank you very much. So I think that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna end
not,
on
I've still
that.
got wine left.
Don't worry, left.
It's fine. We'll have a chat afterwards.
We'll
in
do the
time.
thank yous while you are drinking your wine. So I'd like to say thank you for Zael for coming tonight, and thank you for me.
Embarrassing myself with my score yet again.
Yes, again.
It's going to be a continuous
Thank you for F.O.D and all F.O.D, and Jamie and thank you, Jamie, again for coming and setting up the stream. Thank you to all the people we've had in the last few weeks. We are going to go on a mid-season break because we are now American for some reason. Mid-season break while someone goes to Poland and gets incarcerated in Poland.
How rude. Okay.
Well, we know what Poland's like at the moment. And we'll be back.
I'll be in hiding.
We'll be back on the first week in January. So I don't know what day that is. I think that's the 6th or 7th. Anyway, follow our socials at Animagi CIC on Facebook and Twitter, and also follow at Club F.O.D on Twitter and Facebook to keep up to date. If you would like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, that is down below. And I've just, my glasses have fallen off again.
There.
Down below.
There. I think it's there.
I think it's there.
Yeah. No, wait, no, it is on Jamie's.
I don't know. It's somewhere.
Wait.
We're just going to point everywhere. Yeah. Find it somewhere. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. I really hope you enjoyed it. And thank you again, Jamie, for joining us and having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a joke.
And thank you for...
I can put my Primark gear back on now.
Yes, you can.
Woo!
Shops are available.
Yeah, and thank you so much for interacting with us. We do really appreciate seeing your messages in the comments. So, yeah, definitely continue doing that because it gives us, something to read and like really show that we have some audience and we're just not chatting to a camera.
So, oh God, I think we're going to transition now. Thank you very much, everyone. And hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, 2021.
Bye.